Greetings fellow gamers and commanders, and welcome back to Battlestar Galactica Deadlock on the Xbox One. I'm your host, Uncle Fester382. Welcome to my gaming channel. Hope we're all well today. So, in my last video we finished our Sin and Sacrifice campaign, and as I said at the end of that video, we are now going to look at starting the next campaign. So the next campaign is called Resurrection. So Resurrection is the expansion for Battlestar Galactica Deadlock that marks the beginning of Season 2 and introduces a plethora of new features and content. Resurrection has included 2 new ships, one of which is the much awaited MK2 Jupiter Class Battlestar, 2 new squadrons, and a new story campaign which is told from the CIC deck of the Galactica itself. So as far as the storyline for Resurrection, that is that 3 years ago the betrayal of the Cobalt Alliance cut deep. So that was the betrayal that we saw towards the end of our Sin and Sacrifice campaign. This meant that the alliance of the 12 colonies was severed in 2. Admiral Kane disbanded colonial fleets, and Daedalus was abandoned. An empty husk left adrift in the storm clouds of Ragnar. Lattice is held true to its promise of a year-long ceasefire with the Cobalt Alliance, but the minute the ceasefire expired, Cylon forces invaded the remaining 2/3 of the colonies. The battle-weary rebellion has launched an ambitious project, the secret reconstruction of the Battlestar Galactica. With it, the reborn colonial fleet has again become the last beacon of hope for mankind, a testament of human tenacity and its will to survive. So, bit of background information for Resurrection. Resurrection was released on the PC on August 29th, and then it spread to the console on September the 4th. That was both the Xbox and the PS4. And then more recent, I believe it was the start of November, it has now been also released on the Nintendo Switch. So I've already had a look at the MK2 Battlestar, and if you've seen any of my previous videos, I actually did a comparison of the original Jupiter class, the Mark 1, and also the Mark 2, and we had a look to see what differences there were, how the armour of the Mark 2 had been improved, as well as the weapon systems that were available. It also brought some wanted additions, which included an extra squadron slot and also an extra Raptor slot. So, okay, what I think we're going to do now is we're going to get this new campaign loaded up, and let's have a look at some of the options that we've got available. Okay, so let's go into new campaign, and as you can see, here is a list of all the campaigns that are available for this game. So into Resurrection we go. Okay, we're going to import our save file. This has 2 main benefits, one of which is any unlocked blueprints from the previous campaigns will also be unlocked in this campaign. Also, the Codex Intelligence, that's your intelligence on any enemy ships, will also be imported as well. Okay, we'll set the difficulty Commander for the purposes of this video, and we will disable the tutorial and activate the crew veteracy. Okay, let's get the initial story loaded up, so I'm going to be quiet while that plays. So I hope you enjoy that, and I'll be back in a few minutes.
Previously on Battlestar Galactica Deadlock.
Lachesis is rerouting all of its forces to Helios Alpha. Pycon is already at breaking point, and Geminon was ready to roll over the moment Winutu signed the treaty.
The Cobalt Alliance has ratified the ceasefire with Cylon Command. The peoples of Helios Gamma, Delta, and Beta will see no more violence from today.
It was not supposed to happen like this. You have to understand, I never intended for them to go this far without you.
You should have told me. You've sacrificed 1/3 of the colonies. And for what?
It is 1 year that can be used to negotiate a lasting peace. We tried our best to make Colonial Fleet work. But you can't be blamed for the weakness of others.
We've got problems with our FTL computer. I think the Cylons have got into it somehow, and Tech can't flush them out. We can't make the jump.
Galactica, repeat. I didn't hear that right.
I'm sorry, Lena. You need to go. We'll catch up.
Colonial Fleet, this is Daedalus Actual. The station has been evacuated, and Daedalus Fleet Group is dismissed. I am stepping down from command. Colonial Fleet is effectively dissolved. Go. Protect your families. Protect our people. You shouldn't die here for my mistakes. Lords of Kobol guide you.
There's not much you can do about a knife in the back. Struggle, you make it worse. Leave it, and you'll bleed out. Best case scenario, someone takes the knife out and helps you back up. Except for you're still bleeding. And now you got another son bitch running around with a knife. The ceasefire lasted the full year that Lachesis agreed to. No longer, no less. The exact minute the agreement expired, Cylon fleets attacked the Cobalt Alliance colonies. We fought back where we could, had some hard years grounded before we got Colonial Fleet back in the air. Then we went and retrieved Galactica, pulled her right out of the water where we left her, and spent the last year building her back up. Colonial Fleet is now a branch of the Ministry of Defense, reformed by the people who've been fighting the ground war since Caprica City was first bombarded. Jubal Sarkis leads the Fleet Admiralty, and he's made sure the Quorum knows its place this time around. Without Colonial Fleet, there is no war, no resistance, and no freedom. Galactica has been reinstated to the head of BSG 75 under my command. We are, once again, one of many in the shield against the Cylon. We have a second chance and bear the full weight of the 12 colonies. From today, we do not lose to the Toasters. Welcome aboard Galactica, Commander. Not sure that it lives up to the Daedalus CIC. Comfort wasn't our priority in getting this bird farm back in the air. Take a moment to familiarize yourself. CIC briefing is at the top of the hour.
Okay, so with a new season comes a complete new layout, and very excited that this is being done from the CIC of the Galactica itself. So here's our missions. So some of the layouts at the bottom is pretty similar. So there's all our fleets, and also the other one was all our missions. So Our normal menu is the same, and as you can see in the blueprint menu, there's all our blueprints that have been imported from our previous campaign missions. So there's the Mark II Jupiter. Ooh. Right, we're going to unlock that, so that's ready, so we can start building Mark II Jupiters. There's one just down here, so I'm guessing that's going to be unlocked on one of the missions that we're going to play. Let's have a look about, see what we can see. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Love it. That is very good. I think the only thing I would have liked to have seen is people in the CIC, so walking around, moving, doing the jobs. I think that would have added a bit more to it. Okay, so here's our BSG 75 fleet, so there's our Galactica. Just going to change some of the bits in this to where we want it. So I'm going to use the Assault Raptors, so exactly the same pretty much setup that we used in the Sin and Sacrifice campaign. So, okay, just bear with me a second. So we've got the Galactica, so we've got a Mark II Class Jupiter, we've got an Atlas, we've got a Minotaur, a Adamant Frigate, and also a Manticore. So I think a couple of things we need to do here on top of what I'm doing at the moment. So I think one of the first things I'm going to do is get a Celestial Support ship. Okay, right, there's our first mission. So we are FTL spooled up to jump across for that. So the first mission is going to be Mission 1, Second Blooding. So as you can see in the top right hand corner, we now have a new feature, which is a Cylon threat indicator. So I'm guessing the further along we go, the higher that will get. Can't get over the view that we've got here, that's lovely. Okay, is there anything different in this menu? No. Okay, let's get some ships put into build. We've got 7,000 Tillium, we might as well get some ships started up and we can see where we can go from there. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. Okay, what's this auxiliary fleet we've got? Okay, just an adamant. Ooh, trade button. Okay, I'd heard about this. They've introduced a new trade system into Season 2. This basically means you can now sell your ships. You can trade them in. So, for example, the Manticore, we can sell it and trade it for Tillium, requisition points, or to reduce the Cylon threat level indicator, which is in the top right hand corner. So, okay, new way of going with it, and I suppose maybe the further we go along, as well as the missions, will bolster up our Tillium and our requisition points. Currently there is only one ship that we need or is available to purchase at this time, and I say at this time as I have seen some information which leads me to believe that the Valkyrie Battlestar may be coming in the very not too distant future. So that would then mean that we've got something else to build and something else to use in the fight. So I think next to the Mark II Jupiter, at this current point in time, I think that ship is one of the long-awaited additions to this game that we're looking forward to. Obviously the primary is the Mercury Class Battlestar. Everybody wants the Mercury Class. I want the Mercury Class. And I think when that comes in, we're going to party. It's going to be a great addition when we get to that point. We're not there yet. Obviously from a timeline point of view, we're nowhere near that yet. But when it does come in, it's going to be incredible. Right, okay, that's the introduction done. So I've given you some of the background information for Season 2. So I'm hoping I can get I've already recorded Mission 1. So I'm hoping that in the next day or two I can get that sorted and uploaded, and we can do our first mission. So I hope you've enjoyed the introduction and this video. If you have, please consider hitting that like button, it is appreciated. And if you like the videos on my channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking on the notification bell. Thanks for watching, happy gaming.